So there's changes, and this was agreed to upon in 24. So this wasn't just like the group of 5 got 2 in, we're making changes. This was agreed on with a memorandum of understanding back in 2024. But now all the Power 4 champions are going to get an auto bid. So what we saw last year with just the highest 5 group, or excuse me, the top 5 conference champions get in. No, it's going to have the 4 power conferences are going to have an AQ, one group of 6 AQ, and that's it.
So ACC, get your shit together, because you would have had Duke if we were doing that year.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part about all this is Duke would have been in, JMU would have been out. Oh, and let's not forget about the Notre Dame clause.
Don't get me started. Fucking
how could we forget? And there was some back and forth for a minute after this was announced. Well, is it an independent clause or is it just a Notre Dame thing?
No, it's just Notre Dame being fucking special.
And
fucking
what's crazy to me is every conference commissioner voted for it to happen. They said, "Yeah, go ahead."
You want to know why? Honestly,
that money.
It's all about that money.
Who did they pay off?
Everyone knows that while they hate them, Notre Dame draws.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just a draw.
I mean, the brand is massive.
The brand is massive. The brand is known worldwide. Notre Dame is just known. And
absolutely.
As much as I hate to admit it, that is a fact. Yeah. But them still being 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the ACC and getting basically an automatic bid for themselves by themselves is absolutely ridiculous.
I agree. And this is one. So again, they would have been in the playoffs this year with the current format. So Miami would have been out if this format currently happened this year.
Miami would not have jumped them,
and JMU would have been out.
Yep. I'd be okay with JMU being out because they got fucking torched.
I've got stipulations on how I would run, like this decision. If you're
why don't we do that? What would you prefer to see?
So I don't mind auto bids. I don't mind it for conference champions. I think that's fine to a point. But if you're not in the top 20 and you're like, I could see a 19-20 team like Tulane getting in, I was fine with. They played pretty competitive against Ole Miss. They get down, they would try, but they just could not finish. Whatever. Right. I don't mind that. But to me, if you're past that, you forfeit your spot and your auto bid for the next at large. So that's kind of what I would do. Notre Dame would have then been in this year. JMU would have been out. Tulane still would have been in. Duke would have been out because they're a conference champion. But you're like 5-loss team. You're not getting an auto bid. Sorry. So that's kind of what I would do. Then your at large is still get that molded.
Personally, I just wish they'd get rid of auto bids all the fucking together.
I know that's a big feeling out there. It should just be straight seeded top 12.
Seeded. Like if you are kicking ass and taking names and you win your conference championship, odds are you're in the top 12.
Yeah.
If you are a 1, maybe 2-loss team, you depending on who you are, because we all know it's a popularity contest more or less than anything else. But generally speaking, I feel like the auto bids just need to go away. Group of 5, I know that you've had really good teams in the past, and I know that you guys can get one up in the top 12, but this would pretty much eliminate you if we took away auto bids, because you would have to be an undefeated group of 5 team. And really, in my opinion, that's who should be in. If you are undefeated as a group of 5, you get in. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you lose and you don't win your conference championship on top of that, sorry, you're out.
Yeah, I know.
As much as I like group of 5, I like group of 5, but there is no realm where I thought, even just going through the season, that I thought JMU would have been competitive against anybody in the play that got into the playoff this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and their one game earlier on the season, they had lost against Louisville. It was close, but again, Louisville weren't a playoff caliber team either. So I get those arguments. I like the protection of the auto qualifier for the group of 5. I think it's important for the sport, but I understand why people, or like what you're saying, Trevor.
Yeah.
And we go back and talk about this new format and, the Notre Dame clause, and people are like, well, so what? A top 12 team gets in the playoff. Who cares? Because Notre Dame would have to be in the top 12 to to get that. But again, to me, it's just that special.
So therein lies where the problem
Yeah.
is like if we go like, okay, so who cares if they're in the top 12, they get in, no big deal. Well, it becomes a big deal if the second team from the ACC happens to be, we'll just say there's two ACC teams that are both ranked in the top 12.
Yeah.
And one of them's on the cusp. One of them's ranked 10th, and the other one is ranked 5th. They go into their conference championship. That 10th ranked team loses, but doesn't lose by that much. Would you really want to see that team get out because they're a one-loss team?
And they're playing an extra game.
And they're playing an extra game. They're going to get punished for it. And then all of a sudden you see Notre Dame get in before them. Honestly, that is my biggest problem with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Getting an auto bid if they're in the top 12 because they don't deserve it, especially this year's schedule. If you go look at Notre Dame's schedule this year, it's going to be cakewalk.
Yeah, 26. It's definitely a lot lighter than it was this season.
I mean, BYU's on their schedule. That's great. They go play out in Provo.
They've got like 3 good ones, and then so I agree. And again, they would have bumped Miami this year, and to me, that's ridiculous. But it is also ridiculous. On the other side of it is that Duke would have gotten in.
Right.
Like, that's ridiculous. They don't deserve that, even if they are a conference champion.
Exactly.
So there still needs to be some changes. The world isn't falling apart.
Do you think I really like the idea of I don't really like the idea of a 2014, but I really don't mind the idea of a 16-team playoff. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't mind that idea because if you're going to give Notre Dame, and they're going to probably hang on to this as long as they can, this automatic, as long as they're in the top 12, they get in. If you're going to keep that in play for this time, then I really do think you need to give the teams that would drop behind them an opportunity to get in the playoff and see if Notre Dame can still hold their weight against some of these other playoff teams that they're jumping.
I've seen a couple of things that I like, and the Gruden method was one that I like, having the play-in games of everybody that's sitting around while the conference champions are playing that extra game.
Mm-hmm.
Pate put out one recently where you still have the bowl games, but it's a 13th data point.
I think we also should eliminate week 0 and make that week 1.
Week 0 should be week 1. Yeah, so we know there's encompassing issues. The calendar needs to be fixed. There still needs to be some adjustments to the college football playoff. And I think it can be kept at 12, but you have, instead of a play-in, like what Pate was saying, I kind of like it, where you have a select number of bowl games, like 5 or 6 big ones, like the Pop-Tarts Bowl, like, the Cheez-Its Bowl, whatever, the Citrus Bowl. Have that, get your bowl games during conference championship week. And these guys are that 13th, method of getting in. Hey, if you win that bowl game, you're cemented into the playoffs. If you're the 6th ranked team and you're playing the 20th team, well, now that 20th team, if they win, well, they might be able to slide up into that top 12. But yeah, there's ways to do this. And at 12 or 16, I really don't want to push it too much further. I definitely don't want the 24, but I think 12 can be done. I like
Big Ten's outside their mind, and I'm a Big Ten guy, but that is just straight crazy.
It's, to me, you nuke the entire regular season any further you go. But regardless, with what's going on with this next year, I think the biggest thing is conferences need to adjust their their tiebreakers. Like, there's no reason that Miami should not have been in the ACC championship. I know that they lost the 2 games, but Duke being in that is ridiculous. Like, there's got to be some adjustment to tiebreakers, bring back divisions. I don't care.
Absolutely.
The conferences being this big has really thrown a wrench into the playoff issue and the playoff plan. So we've got to, I know college football is a reactionary force. It just kind of is. There's no preemptive strikes. We're not doing the deep fight. It's straight up, well, shit, something happened. We got to find a way to fix it.
Right.
Like, where is the forethought? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
If we're thinking of who else is out there, like,
there's got to be some logical voice in the room that is like, come on, guys, let's think about this logically.
I think they're just too busy dealing with lawsuits to give a shit.
I just think that there's too much money going around, and like they're trying to make sure that I don't even know if they're trying to make sure it's fair and equitable. I just think everybody's trying to get theirs. And not giving a rat's ass about anything else.
I don't know, man. I mean, they have these meetings all the time, and like I said, the changes are taking place.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah.
But again, let us know in the comments. You know, we want to hear from you guys.
Jump in.
Do you like the new system better than what we just had this year? What changes would you make?
Would you prefer the 16, or are you on the outside looking in and one of the minority people that think the 24 team and more of the FCS model is more what you want to see the mainstay college football go to?
I've seen those models. I mean, the games would be cool. I'm not saying the games would be great.
Here's my, I guess, devil's advocate to the FCS model for big time college football is that more teams would have playoff home games.
Yeah.
Or at the university stadiums, which I think would be such a cool atmosphere.
Yes.
For a playoff game to be more playoff games to be held at the universities as opposed to the bowls or whatever.
Yeah.
I just think it would just be better for college football and just in general, the popularity. I just think that would be phenomenal.
That is
that being said, I'm not sure if I want to see 24 teams. Now, if you do 16 teams and maybe the play-in games are not bowl games, but the play-in games happened to the higher seeded and you go to their university to play or whatever. Then, well, I'm all for that too.
And I'm cool with that too, is having the play-ins and then bowl season starts right after. I love bowl season. It's important. We need to keep it around, but we need to have some adjustments to the playoffs. Exactly. Not a lot, little tweaks. We don't have to blow the whole goddamn thing up and make something new every time. Don't reinvent the wheel. Fix little parts of it. Fix the spoke.